Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is time. It is time for another episode of Politics Personified. We are getting ready to get started, getting ready to invite our special guest, Dominique Cooper. She is a candidate for Gwinnett County School Board District 3. So just want to go ahead and get this live started as I bring in our special guest tonight. Again, welcome everyone to Politics Personified. I'm Lolita Hampton, your host, and I appreciate you joining us on tonight. All right, I think she is getting ready to join us. All right, Dominique, I sent you an invite to join us. Thank you for those who are logging in to join us. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Come on in. Come on in. I'm so appreciative of seeing some familiar names tonight. We're just waiting for our special guest, Dominique Cooper, to join us. I'm going to send her another invite. Excuse me. Okay, Dominique, I'm going to cancel and resend this back to you again. All right, again, today is Thursday, February 29th, Leap Day, right? This only happens like every 4 years. And this is also the last day of Black History Month. So I'm really excited to end out this month with our special guest, Dominique Cooper, who is running for school board, District 3 here in Gwinnett County. And we are getting ready to have her connect. So, Dominique, I sent you the request to go live. Again, tag your friends, share this wonderful opportunity to meet a candidate and hear about her platform, her issues, and her resolutions for Gwinnett County. Okay, got some new faces on tonight. So excited to see everyone. Again, I'm Lolita Hampton, your host of Politics Personified, and our special guest tonight is going to be Dominique Cooper. And she'll be joining us shortly. So if you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments, and we'll definitely make sure to address those questions with Dominique once she joins us. So let's see. Let's see here. She should be joining us momentarily. All right. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Dominique is joining us. All right. I see another screen. This is a good sign. All right, Dominique. How are you?
Hi, good evening. I am doing well. How about yourself?
I'm sorry, say that again, Dominique.
I said I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am doing pretty.
Unfortunately, we experienced some technical difficulties during this time. However, we were able to get back on track and finish up with this wonderful interview with Dominique Cooper. Stay tuned.
And thank you for your patience. Please do not log off. We're going to have an amazing discussion tonight with Dominique Cooper, who is running for Gwinnett County candidate school board in District 3. Again, she's a candidate right here in Gwinnett County area and running for school board representative in District 3. So please make sure to stay connected. We're going to have an amazing one-on-one discussion and get to know Dominique a little more. So please make sure to stay connected. And again, make sure to share this live with your friends and other followers and so forth. Okay. All right. Well, we definitely wish you luck. Someone said they have to drop off at 7:15 because they are going speed dating. So we definitely send you best wishes with that. We appreciate you jumping on for a few minutes with us tonight. And listen, If things don't go your way, hop back on. We'll still be here till about 7:35, 7:40 tonight. So, but we appreciate you sharing that with us. Okay. All right. And now, while we're waiting for Dominique to rejoin us, if you are hearing any feedback from me, please definitely let me know as well. I definitely appreciate that feedback. And once again, for those who are new to Politics Personified, my name is Lolita Hampton. I am the host of Politics Personified, and I'm also the founder and chief brand strategist of the Personified Group. And just to give you a little backstory about um, Politics Personified. So this particular podcast was birthed out of the idea of giving elected officials, political candidates, even former elected officials, an opportunity, a platform to tell their story. My background, my passion, my advocacy is in personal brand development. And I wanted to make sure that our community leaders had a platform where they can share their story. So that's why we have guests like Dominique Cooper tonight. She's here to share her story so that you can get to know her personally outside of just the candidate, the elected official. All right, it looks like Dominique has rejoined us, so let's go ahead and see how that sound is working. All right, Dominique. All right, you guys give us your feedback if you can hear Dominique pretty well. Keep talking to us, Dominique. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. It's been
All
a
right,
busy
so a busy Thursday. Okay, all right, awesome. So I do hear a slight feedback. What I would encourage you to do is to speak slowly because I do hear just a slight, but for the most part, I could hear you say it was a busy Thursday.
Okay.
So we're gonna make things work. Okay, we're gonna figure it out. Some feedback. Someone said some feedback, so it's getting better.
Okay, awesome.
Yes, it's getting better. It might actually be better if you could step back. That might actually help.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So for respective time, again, we appreciate you for joining us tonight. Again, this is Politics Personified with your host, Lolita Hampton, and we have a special guest with us, Dominique Cooper. Dominique is running for Gwinnett County School Board Representative in District 3. So we're going to jump right in and get to know Dominique. So Dominique, I'd love to start off with just kind of sharing with the viewers a little bit about yourself. So I read that you are from Baltimore, Maryland. Did I say that right? Baltimore, right? Yes, yes, yes. So I have some roots in that area. I went to college in on the East Coast, so definitely went to school with a lot of Baltimoreans, if that's what you call yourselves. But definitely that Baltimore, right? Heard that a lot and all that house music. So I'd like to talk about your roots, okay? So starting off, Dominique, tell us about your upbringing in Baltimore.
So great question. Thank you. I lived in Baltimore. Grew up predominantly women. My mom, and other family members, very and
Okay. All right. So I am hearing some feedback, Dominique. But I'll just repeat what you stated, and we're just trying to, like I said, navigate. You're doing an awesome job. So you grew up in Baltimore with a house full of women, right? From your mother, as the only child. Let's preface that as the only child. Okay. So you say with mother, grandmother, great grandmother, aunties. So a house full of women. Okay. Was it a little bit like the Women of Brewster Place? I don't know. I might be dating myself. Is that
So I'm actually certainly a lot going on. Everybody
All right, all right. Got it. So you said everyone thought that they were the boss because it was a house full of women. Everyone thought they were in charge, but not quite the women of Brewster Place. Okay, I can respect that. All right, awesome. We're going to jump right in to your platform. Okay. All right. So your campaign platform consists of student achievement, school safety, mental health and wellness, and engagement. Talk to us about mental health and wellness.
Thank you for asking. So
Just to touch back on what you said, being in the classroom, your experience being in the classroom, you have some experience as a former substitute teacher, and then dig a little deeper into, again, why mental health and wellness is important to you and why it's added to your platform. Let's try that again.
we need to wrap around additional services even more than what we already have within our Gwinnett County Public Schools. I believe that's one of the missing links that could help our school system to run more effectively, more than even what it does now.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for that. So, very Very good. Now, talk to us, Dominique, about your entrepreneur endeavors as it relates to your candidacy for the school board.
So, great question. Over the years, I've done a number of different things here in Gwinnett County that have been entrepreneur like. Everything from starting various nonprofit organizations that were centered around both youth and families in support of them here in Gwinnett, everything from our unaccompanied youth that are homeless in Gwinnett County to making sure that we keep our students here empowered and supported. Those different entrepreneur ventures, I think, are a great added bonus to me as a candidate and future board member because I understand what it's also like to be able to support community. And that's things that I've done. In addition to that, I've also started my own consulting firm. And so my consulting firm supports everything education. And with that, I started and took a deep dive into the education sector about 5 years ago. And I think that those skills and abilities that I've gained from that particular venture will also help as a school board member.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. So, with your entrepreneur experience, complimenting you to be a qualified candidate for the school board, what will change in terms of your entrepreneur endeavors if you are elected to the school board? Will you continue in those endeavors, or will you take a pause, a break? Talk to us about that.
Absolutely. So I would definitely continue with those ventures upon becoming a school board member. I think that they all complement each other very well. And so they will continue just as they are now.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Very good. Thank you so much for that. All right. Here's a big question. Many people call you a warrior, Dominique. Can you talk to us about that?
Absolutely. Um, there is something that's really important to me, and it's based off a medical diagnosis. So, approximately 9 years ago, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and I have relapsing MS. With that diagnosis, has kind of come about this secondary title of being a MS warrior, and that's something that I make very public because I'm extremely proud of the level of resilience that I've had, even with the diagnosis, to still be able to champion the things that are important to me, important to the community, without any excuse, and to show other people that are also a part of various disabled populations that they too can be strong and be a warrior as well.
Okay. Awesome. Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate you for being transparent. That is so important, especially on a program like Politics Personified. I definitely enjoy when our guests are transparent and just humanizing who they are. So I appreciate you sharing your story and being transparent with us tonight. Before we move on to the next question, Dominique, you have a fan tonight. Mr. Clemens said she is a tireless advocate for our children. I don't think she ever sleeps. Is that true?
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Mr. Clemens. He's right. So I am a tireless advocate for our kids. It's something that I've always been, Lolita. I've been that way when I was in Baltimore, and I brought that same energy here to Gwinnett County 12 years ago. As far as sleep, he's right about that too. My sleep patterns are probably not very traditional. I make sure that I get enough to be able to function, take care of my own family, and make sure I'm safe. But yeah, sometimes it's secondary to making sure that I am getting things done that I need to get done to champion for community and for our children.
All right, you make the sacrifices. It sounds like this is your passion. So, speaking of advocacy, what is your primary focus as an advocate in the community?
Great question. So for me, it's a level of equality and making sure that resources are readily available and that people know where to find those resources. For me, one thing that's very near and dear to my heart is making sure that families in particular and parents in Gwinnett County know how to connect the dots and know how to make sure that they have what they need for their child or for their children. And one thing that I see also common is that we're in this big county, right? And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know where to turn. They don't know what resources are there for them in times of need. And it's important to me to make sure that people are aware, they're educated, and they're informed. And that's something that I pride myself in, that I'm able to make sure that I connect those dots. And if I don't know an answer, ensure that I'll make sure that I'll find someone that can assist them if needed.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate that. Okay. So, you have an impact link on your website, Dominique, that displays personal notes and letters from supporters. What has been the most impactful message that you received so far?
Wow. Is your question specifically just in general, or is it specifically on the campaign trail?
It's in general. You like I said, that was something that stood out to me when I was doing my research on you, and to have a link that specifically says impact, and then you click on it. You don't expect these handwritten letters and notes, and you don't know if they're from adults, from children. So my question is, what letter or notes have you received that's been most impactful to you? This could be long before you decided to put your hat in the ring for candidate for Gwinnett County School Board, but I can see that this is important to you because you applied this to your website, so you're open this to the public. So as you think about this question, what has had the most impact? What letter, what note have you received that has, stayed with you?
Yep. So there's probably two that I'll bring up, and that question was a little deep for me. So started kind of getting a little bit of water in my eyes thinking about one of them. In a previous career, I worked for the federal government for Social Security Administration, and it was really important to me to make sure that I always treated claimants that came in the same way that I wanted to be treated. Sometimes federal government employees kind of get a bad rap, right? So a lot of times people are a little apprehensive about working with federal government agencies. However, when I worked in our office here in Norcross on Chapel Road, one thing that stands out in regard to letters of impact was a gentleman that had been diagnosed with HIV. He had come into the office, and I happened to encounter him at the front window. And if you've ever been to that office in Norcross, you understand just how crowded that office can be on any given day. When I was working there, we saw upwards of about 800 to 900 people a day. And literally, this gentleman came into the window and he wanted to apply for disability benefits. He was early 20s, and he shared his story with me of how he contracted HIV, about his diagnosis, about his family shame of him. And I remember coming out from the window, is what we called it. I unlocked the door that was only accessible to employees, and I came around to the front. And I remember just hugging him and embracing him. And I remember also praying with him and telling him that everything would be okay. And I remember a few days later, my manager, Miss Press, she came to me with a letter that he had written, and he had said that he had never encountered someone with such a human element. And when I think about that, that still stands out to me because I remember looking at him regardless of diagnosis, and I remember saying he's a human being. And the reason that's so important is because that's the same way that I carry myself, even as a candidate for school board. Everyone is a human being to me. It doesn't matter the color of your skin, your ethnicity, your race, your job title. So that's the first letter that stands out, and I'll never forget him. And the second letter that probably stands out is my family and I frequent we're foodies, so we're always out eating. And we happen to like buffets, or at least my youngest son and my husband and I, we like buffets because we like to just go back and eat as much as we like. There was a server at the buffet here in Duluth, and I helped her with a situation with her son who attends Meadow Creek High School. And she was concerned about him cutting class, and she was just concerned about the fact that she was worried about her 15-year-old son. This was a few months ago. And when we came back in, we were frequent visitors. She had a note that she wrote for me, and we were in a different service section, and she said that she carried it with her every day, wondering when I was going to come back. And she just said, thank you. She said, thank you for understanding my English. Thank you for understanding that I don't speak like you speak. Thank you for the resources to be able to help me. And so that's very recent, and that stands out to me as well.
Oh man, that is amazing. That is so amazing. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for your transparency. We really appreciate that. I'm going to give you a moment to process this story. We're going to just hug on this whole experience and this vision. That is amazing. That is amazing. That is amazing. And I'm sure that, these individuals will never, ever forget you. Those are some really good seeds that you have planted right here in the community. So again, we really appreciate you for showing up and being your authentic self tonight here on Politics Personified. Thank you so much for that, Dominique.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's see here. What have you done in the community, Dominique, that has had a direct impact in the school system? So I know that you are a community advocate. I know that you are passionate about children, but just kind of give us a specific direct correlation, like Dominique Cooper name is all over this, her work, her action is a direct correlation to the success that you're seeing at, this particular school or in this particular cluster. Talk to us about that. Tell us a story.
So I have been really, really involved with school councils here in Gwinnett County since 2015. And one school stands out in particular that I've served the longest on their school council, and that's the Give Center. The Give Center East is near and dear to my heart. And the reason it's near and dear to my heart is because it's one of the alternative schools for Gwinnett County Public Schools. So when students have been, kind of put out of their local school environment for one reason or another based off various infractions that they may have done, they are either sent to Give Center East or Give Center West based off of their home school. And so I've been on school council at the Give Center for 8 years. And one thing that's really important to me is through two different sets of leadership and administration there, I have been really, really instrumental in coming up with positive ideas and things that can change the trajectory of students' lives while they're in this kind of in-between setting. I'm very grateful that there's different things I've come up with, different suggestions. I've connected various community members, stakeholders, and organizations to the school to be able to support those students while they are in an in-between stage. And for some people, they don't really understand that. But for me, I understand that people make mistakes. People are not perfect. And that includes our children as well. And when they've done things that may not have been appropriate or may have been incorrect for a school environment, it's very important that we still teach them and we still make sure that they understand the importance of their decision making, but still help them along the way. So at the Give Center, I have been that person that's helped to create new initiatives, new ideas, new things to be able to make sure that the kids are having a great experience while they're there, and that they make sure that they understand how to conduct themselves when they return to their homeschool environment. So I've been a mentor at the Give Center, and specifically I work with their Tier 2 boys. Their Tier 2 boys, many of them were gang members, had been to jail, had been to the adult population of Gwinnett County Jail, all sorts of different things. But those young men need like another mother figure. They hugged me, they loved me, I hugged them, and I poured into them the same way that I've done with my own sons at home. And so that's probably something that stands out the most.
Okay, another beautiful story. You are full of them, aren't you, Dominique? Oh my gosh, wonderful. Absolutely love that transparency. I am not as familiar with the Gift Center as some others may be, but thank you so much for giving us that insight just on, the impact that individuals like yourself can have on the alternative, education community. As you stated, they still deserve, a quality education. And that is beautiful that you've been able to have that impact right there here so locally, within Gwinnett County Schools. So kudos to you. We definitely appreciate your work and your advocacy with that particular group of students as well. So, of course, the ultimate question, Dominique, is why? Why are you running for Gwinnett County School Board Representative in District 3?
Amazing question. And Lolita, I got to tell you that when I provide you with my response, it's so deep layered. We don't have enough time on live to be able to talk about it. But to provide just a snippet, when I think about my different levels of leadership in life, right? So not just Gwinnett County, not just here locally. When I think about the different things that I've done in my lifetime thus far, I think about impact. And I think that impact for me thus far has been, to me, small. It's been in pockets here and there. It's been in, local organizations, local businesses, local communities, local networks. But I knew that after subbing for Gwinnett County for 3 years, I knew that after coming inside the classroom and experiencing all 40 clusters of Gwinnett County, I knew that after experiencing classrooms with special education children and children everything from kindergarten through 12th grade, I knew that experiencing the school as a substitute clinic worker during the pandemic, being able to provide kids with needed medication when they came, I knew that being able to support our schools by way of subbing and front offices, I knew that being able to intentionally put myself into situations in various capacities here in Gwinnett County, I recognized that there was a need for impact, and there was a need for impact from someone who came without a personal vendetta, without a personal initiative, without a complaint, and more so someone that could bring a level of community and compassion to a board where I'm used to governance, I'm used to fiscal responsibility, I'm used to leadership, but what else were we missing? And I wanted to look for the missing link, and I discovered that I didn't have to look very far because I was the missing link. I was the human element to the board. I was the human element to a system. You can teach people governance. You can teach people how to look at financial ledgers. You can teach people what's important for our school systems. You can teach people how to hire a superintendent. What you can't teach people, though, is you can't teach them how to be a human. You can't teach people compassion. You can't teach people authentic spirits to be able to rally community around each other to effectively get things done from a business perspective. And that's
Right.
what I wanted to add. But I didn't want to just add it in the community in which my kids attended school in Peachtree Ridge. I didn't want to add it in Lawrenceville where I live. I wanted to add it for 183,000 student and staff members here in Gwinnett County on a much larger scale. I wanted to make impact, and I wanted to make impact that would catch a level of just unity in something that we didn't have. I didn't want to point a blame. I didn't want to come with a negative ambition. I wanted to come with real heart, real spirit, and a real desire to make sure that we supported our student, staff, and support faculty of Gwinnett County Schools in just a very authentic way. It's really just that simple.
Wow. 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 That's amazing. You said it's really just that simple, and you gave us a mouthful of adequate information. And, you mentioned that you just want to have an impact. I heard that word mentioned maybe 10 times, over this response, an impact, an impact. And it's interesting, again, the section on your website, impact, it stood out to me. I said, impact, let me see what she's talking about. And then to hear you, transparently, authentically talk about the impact, like it connects, right? It connects. And so I really appreciate your time today. I really appreciate you showing up as your authentic self. I appreciate you advocating in the community, whether it's in District 3, District 1, just being in the community. As someone mentioned earlier, you are a tireless advocate. We appreciate you, Dominique. We really do. So I want to give you an opportunity. First, before I give you an opportunity to close us out, if anyone has any questions for Ms. Dominique Cooper, again, Dominique is running for Gwinnett County School Board representative in District 3, and I'll let her talk to you about the cluster of District 3 for those of you who are unfamiliar regarding the schools in that particular cluster. Again, she is running for school board, and the election is coming up in May 21st, and I'll let her dive into her, her spiel, her campaign spiel, to let you know where you can find her, how you can support her, and how you can be an advocate alongside her here in the Gwinnett County area. So, Dominique, while we wait for a few more comments and maybe questions to come in, go ahead and tell everyone where they can find you, how they can support you, and come alongside and advocate with you on the campaign trail.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So I am on social media, both Facebook, Instagram, and they're both under vote number 4, Dominique. So the pages are there. I encourage you to follow and like the pages. I'm also an open book. So if any of you are on LinkedIn, you can just search my name, Dominique Cooper, and I have a page there as well. I would love if you could also visit my website, which is www.vote4dominique.org.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, you guys, we appreciate you for joining us tonight for Politics Personified. Again, our special guest is Dominique Cooper, school board candidate for District 3. Again, that's the District 3 cluster. So we appreciate your time. We appreciate your questions and your feedback. And we look forward to hear more from Dominique Cooper on the campaign trail. And for those of you who are interested in connecting more with the Personified group, definitely make sure that you follow us at Personified with an I, that's Personififi, because it starts within yourself, _ on Instagram. If you want to follow us and learn more about personal brand development, you want to catch the next couple of episodes of Politics Personified, we will have some more guests coming up during the election season. Please make sure you stay connected. Again, Dominique, we appreciate you. We appreciate your patience on tonight as we got some technical issues resolved. But you did an amazing job, and we appreciate what you are doing in the community, and we wish you the best during this election season.
Thank you so very much. Could I say one more thing to the listeners?
Absolutely.
Thank you all for your time tonight. Thank you for taking time out of your Thursday evening to join us. I really appreciate it. Just so that you all know where District 3 is, it includes the following clusters. So it's parts of Norcross, Duluth, Peachtree Ridge, North Gwinnett, Collins Hill, and linear cluster schools. And notice I said parts because of all of the clusters, it doesn't encompass all of the different schools, but it is definitely parts of all of those clusters. In addition, I definitely encourage all of you all to make sure that you're registered to vote by April 22nd. Early voting does start April 29th through May 17th, and election day is May 21st. So I definitely appreciate you all. Thank you so much for your time. And if there are any other questions, you all can definitely connect with me on social media. Definitely, I appreciate you all. And thank you for this opportunity, Lolita.
Absolutely. You were absolutely a joy, absolutely a pleasure. We appreciate, again, your authenticity, all of your stories. Definitely appreciate that. And we just look forward to seeing the change that will come forth just with your impact. And just want to leave this note as some followers and advocates for Dominique are saying, Dominique has my vote. Your voice is your vote. So everyone be encouraged. Make sure you get out to the polls. As Dominique mentioned, April 19th starts early voting. So definitely make sure that you have your registration information in place in order so that you can cast your vote because your voice is your vote. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us for another episode of Politics Personified. Again, I'm your host, Lolita Campton, and I appreciate everyone. Have a good night and enjoy your upcoming weekend. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.